Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Is it Worthabuy, guys? Is it? Let's read the words of the developer. Embark on a journey to a realm overrun by demons in a new epic role-playing game from the creators of the critically acclaimed Pathfinder Kingmaker. Explore the nature of good and evil, learn the true cost of power, and rise as a mythic hero capable of deeds beyond mortal expectations. Guys, this isn't really a review, it's more of a first impressions because I'm nowhere near into this game yet, really. I'm not far in at all, simply because I am not a player of CRPGs. I've never played the board games, you know, so that whole rule set of the board games, I have no idea what it's all about. It's something I've just never done. And this was a system shock to me. When I started playing this, as I love RPGs, this was just like, this just leapt out and smacked me in the face and then laughed at me. And I was just, oh my goodness. The character creation, as you can see here, just blew me away. The amount of the races, and I don't know what half of them are, the races, the classes, there was subclasses galore, tons of them. And then when I eventually, there's by the way, there are pre-made characters, so you don't have to go through any of this. I'm just a dick and I went through this because I like to make my own character. So I was making a sorceress, but then I saw the sheer amount of spells available. It was just like, my goodness, where do I even start with this? It was just nuts, the amount of, you could spend half a day just setting up a character, guys, if you don't know what you're doing. It's just insane. Then you got all the potions on top of that, all the endless amount of scrolls that you can cast, the stuff that you can create as well. It's just nuts, this game. Absolutely hugely deep. And so what I did was I just downed tools, cried my eyes out in the corner, sucking my thumb, and then started to watch some tutorials online and some streams of the beta. And just watched them for a few hours, about 3 or 4 hours I spent just watching them, just getting the idea of what it was all about. Then I got back into it, started to play through it. There is a tutorial which helped massively, and I was on my way. I had a party of 6 in no time, and I kind of found my way around the game a little bit. I made a huge error though, because this game is a real-time with pause or turn-based. You simply press a button in the bottom left, one of the buttons down there. The interface I found fantastic. It's neat and tidy, and it has everything you need just to click away. Really enjoyed the interface. It made the game, this could have been 10 times more complicated with a shit interface, but for me I really enjoyed playing it with this interface. But yeah, if you play in real time, each combat encounter is over in seconds, like 5 or 6 seconds. It's done, it's gone. But if you play turn-based, it takes about 5 minutes because every aspect of the move is taken into consideration, and you see you're able to do it all. And in the bottom right, it tells you everything on a little kind of text thing going up, everything that's happened, from skill checks to who's been hit and what with and what it did to them. It's just a hive of information that's just vital to learn this game. I unfortunately played real time with pause, which means the combat's just flowing. If the shit hits the fan, you can quickly press the space bar to pause it, issue a few new commands and then carry on, but most of the time it's over before you even get a chance to do anything, so you're missing a lot of the stuff that's going on. And so I went through probably the first 10 hours on that. I was doing really well, but at the same time I was never really learning what was going on all the time, you see. And then when I started to get to the big badasses, I started to get my ass whooped a little bit. And so I went and discovered the turn-based side of things, and then I was realizing the huge errors that I'd been making about being caught flat-footed. I didn't even know what the hell that meant, and just opportunity shots and things like that you can get, and how you can trick the enemy as well. And there's more tactical, way more tactics to the battles than I even thought there was. So I would highly recommend that you spend a bit of time in the turn-based mode just to get the grips if you're not familiar with CRPGs. The story of the game is really good. I'm enjoying the story of the game. I don't like the voiceovers. I don't think there's one person I like the voiceover of in this game. Some of them are really annoyingly little whiny voices. In fact, I killed one of them simply because of their voice.
A typical reaction for a person who has never been burdened with any intelligence. I bequeath my body to science.
They could have been a companion, probably a good companion, but I just couldn't stand the whining voice, so I just killed her. She died. Arrow to the face. But the story's told pretty much to you. You don't have to read all of it. A lot of it is told to you when you meet new characters, but then as the characters have been introduced, you then have to start reading the dialogue, which is fine. And there's a lot of kind of things in this game that lead you in the wrong direction. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, and I've been caught out by trusting the wrong kind of people, and it's really deep the way they've wrote the characters in this. It's really, really good because you talk to them about not only the plot of what's going on, but you're getting to know them. You find out where they're from. There's relationships between characters and all that. Now the combat, going back to the combat, how it actually works is basically it's as simple as your group. You select your group. You right click where you want them to go. You can rotate the map with your middle mouse button, or you can use Q and A, whatever you want. You see a group of enemies, you can focus fire simply by clicking on one of them and your whole team will attack him. Your team have sort of memorized spells that they can use, and there's stuff that they'll use automatically and things like that. But buffing your team is very important. Putting armor on, like mage armor, giving you some of the buffs last like an hour, so put some decent buffs on your people, because it's all about dice rolling when you start attacking. It's all about what they're rolling their dice, you're rolling your dice, and it's all about the resistances that you have. For example, and there's a cool key that you can press. It's the Y key, and you can just right click on an enemy and you'll get all the resistances, what they aren't resistant to, what can kill them easy. And obviously if you have somebody with, say, a sword made of the right metal that can take them out, you send them straight at them. Also, like your paladin can't be affected by I think it's the zombies, the ghouls give you a disease, but they can't give it to the paladin, so you send him in first. In my case, her in first. It's all tactical, the combat, but you just simply click, send them in, and if you're on real time with pause, they'll just all automatically line up. You can change all the formations of them as well, which is very, very handy when you have a bigger team, and just send them into battle. If you want to pause to quickly change something, you just press the space bar and issue new commands, new spells, AoEs, potions, scrolls, summon a monster to help you, all kinds of shit. Or you can go full on turn-based like I mentioned before. Now, I haven't talked about the graphics. I normally do that first, but I'll do it now. I think the graphics look great in this. I really do. I think the fire looks nice. The spells look really cool. The sound effects are awesome. Really, really good, the sound effects. Love the sound effects. The only thing I dislike about the graphics and the sound are the actual voices, which I mentioned before. I have no trouble running it as well on my PC. It's been running like a dream. I'm on a 2080 i9, so I didn't really expect any problems with it. The immersion factor is absolutely off the scale with this game. And I've only just, like I say, I'm only 12 hours in, and you can discount half of them for just in fact, you can probably discount 8 hours of that as far as progress goes, simply because I was learning the game. But the immersion factor is fantastic. I mean, just one of the things I love is if you're in a dungeon and you've been hammered, you've fought some really nasty bastards, and you've got a few kind of debuffs on your team, and you're running low on supplies, and you just want to kind of rest up. You just build a campfire, and I just thought it would be a simple case of campfire, rest, overnight, next morning, all hunky-dory dandy-doodle. That's not how it works in a game as deep as this. You put your campfire down, you put your sleeping bags down, and then you go to rest. You've got to assign people to camouflage the campfire to hide it from monsters that could be there. I'm like, what monsters? What? Monsters could be there? Yeah, of course, because you're in the middle of a fucking dungeon, you prick. Oh, okay, well, you can do that then, and you see who's the best at doing it. Then you assign patrols to patrol around the camp. Then you can have people crafting materials like spells and scrolls during the night, and it's like so damn immersive. It's like, wow, this is fucking awesome. And then once you've set everything up for the night, you just click continue or rest, and then you'll go through like an 8-hour quick time lapse. And if you get attacked through the night, well, shit happens, doesn't it? I've been lucky so far that I've got through the night on all the times I've rested, and then the next morning you wake up and your debuffs have gone, you're healed, you've crafted some stuff, and you do actually feel like your team has rested in the dungeon, and that you've just kind of stuck out the night, and then you're carrying on with your adventure. It's so damn immersive. You've got a home base as well, which is probably going to change as you go through, but I've got a one at the moment. You can just head back there when you want. Sometimes you can't get out of a dungeon, which is unfortunate, but when you can just head back there with all your loot, sell them, buy new stuff from the vendors that's in there. You can rest in your own bed there if you want. It's just, it ticks all the boxes, all the right boxes for a change for immersion, this game. And you get really attached to your characters. I've found that completely. Now, I'm assuming you get a roster of characters because I do have... Well, you do actually, because I've seen it. There is a roster where when you're going out on adventures, you can select who you want to bring. So I'm assuming you can only have 6 with you at any one time, but I'm assuming you can have more than that because there is sort of an area where you can select who you want to bring. And where I'm at now is I'm just trying to set a good team up with tanks, healers, and DPS, and kind of buff classes, you know, to give people protection. That's what I'm trying to get. I've got a complete mismatch of people at the minute, but when I do get time, I will be going back into this. But that's all I've got at the minute. That's my knowledge on this expanded, I'm afraid. So I'm really talking more to the new people, not the people who are veterans of this, because they'll just not really have got much out of this. But if you're new to these kind of games, well worth taking a dive. Don't be put off by some of the screens you've seen in this video that look just mega complicated. You can get round it all by the tutorial, looking at other people playing, and just basically taking your time on turn-based, and you'll pick it up in no time at all. Brilliant game. Really enjoyed it. So there you go, guys. That's Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I think it's worth a buy.